I'm very conscious I'm between all of you and a bar somewhere in this town, of which there are many. Thank you to the brilliant panel we just had and the previous two panels. These conferences only come alight when we have the people of this type of quality talking about the sort of subjects that we do. So thank you to all of you and all the previous panels. I add my thanks to you for that. Pompously, this is about my reflections, apparently. I'm not going to even try and sum up today. I'm certainly not going to talk about the threats or even the means by which we may come to have to either deter or defeat those threats. Those are being covered extremely eloquently by far more knowledgeable people than me. So what is my reflection, or what are my reflections from today? I think defence sometimes is guilty of learning the wrong lessons from the wrong wars. And we must not do that this time around. We have an opportunity here, and I've had it for a while now, but the wake-up call seems to be happening somewhat slowly. There are some things we need to do in our structures and the fabric of what we do in defence to ensure that we don't have wars that we currently see being fought clearly on the eastern flank of NATO just today. I think the problem in Ukraine is the air power debate has been polarised in the sense that air power is about how it might assist in a land campaign. What it hasn't been about is how air power can deter a land campaign even happening in the first place. I know Justin in the panel earlier talked about that. And we, as air power, I won't use the word zealots, maybe some of us are, but as air power enthusiasts and proponents, we need to make that case stronger. Because if there's anything that's come out of today for me, is there are two phrases I think we need to keep selling and selling hard. And I think some people thought they went away. I don't think they ever did. And boy, are they back with a vengeance. That is conventional deterrence, and air superiority is part in that deterrence. Those are two phrases we need to get our populations talking about, thinking about, and understanding. But otherwise, we will continue to learn the wrong lessons and end up fighting the wrong wars. We also said that effective deterrence doesn't come cheap, and I think there is a temptation in the current conflict in Ukraine to find cheaper and more innovative ways of fighting some of these wars. And there is a danger that that gets translated into how we deliver effective deterrence, because that doesn't come cheap. I think we've seen that, both in the two scenarios we've looked at. It is an endeavour that requires innovation, it requires mass, but it certainly requires ingenuity to deliver the sort of capabilities required to make sure that the other side sees no advantage whatsoever in stepping across that line. But we also agreed, I think, today that the alternative of an expensive, effective deterrence is a much more expensive war, both in terms of materiel, but more importantly, people's lives. It's requiring us to have an honest conversation with our stakeholders, and that's not the people in this room. We'll all agree violently, and we'll do shortly over a beer, I'm sure. Our governments, our populations need to better understand why conventional deterrence and air superiority matters, and what it takes, and what you need to pay to deliver it. I'm going to finish off by defending Ben Wallace. He's not coming tomorrow, it's another minister, and he may have to do some defending for him. For those that don't know, and Susanna was, typical journalist, was really quick on that because it was almost instantaneous. I looked, it was literally breaking news. Poor old Ben Wallace, our defence secretary, got trapped in a conversation with a journalist today and said that he didn't believe, or President Zelensky shouldn't see us as an Amazon weapon delivery service. I don't think he really meant what he was saying. I think he was trying to tell President Zelensky that his frustrations over a lack of NATO membership immediately was something he should just calm down and be more grateful for. But that's between him and President Zelensky. But here's my word of warning for Ben Wallace. If defence secretaries around the world don't want to pay for the conventional deterrence that they need to deter these wars, you better get used to becoming an Amazon weapon delivery service, because that is the alternative. So I only gave him half an out. Those are my reflections, and they're heartfelt. I've believed them for a long time, but I think Ukraine has given us another opportunity here to learn that lesson, and learn it hard, and do what needs to be done to ensure that we're not fighting in this theatre or the eastern flank, because that is the alternative. Right, that was all a bit serious. At 1800, upstairs, you can start moving up immediately. Anybody who has a Willy Wonka golden ticket is allowed upstairs to the hallowed turf of the roof terrace for the cocktail reception. So 1800, please make your way upstairs. Anybody can tell you how to get there. I'm just warning you now that if it starts to rain, there is a health and safety regulation here. It's run by engineers, right? Is that Sorry. Sorry. And before we go to that cocktail reception, if any organisation wants to run next year's conference, there's a vacancy. No, I'm serious. If it becomes slippery up there, they will ask us to come back down. I have just looked out the window and it is crystal clear blue skies. But anybody who knows London knows that's going to last about 10 minutes. So fingers crossed we'll be able to get on the rooftop. Tomorrow morning, 9:20 sharp for the start of the conference. I just want to finish by thanking Susanna. I'll thank her again tomorrow, no doubt. But also to all the panellists today, thank you for an excellent day's speaking and I think a really thought-provoking day. Thank you very much.